for Mr. Anthony Arendez.
Hi. I'm David, and I'm an Tractor, I think we may have switched suits at some point earlier. I'll get these back to you later. For those of you who don't have the pleasure of knowing me, I'm Anthony Arendez, Mark's best man. Now, I first met Mark when we were 6 or 7 years old on the hard-knock playgrounds of Sandy Beach Drive, in a jungle known as the Lakes of the Four Seasons. Now, back then, Mark was a pudgy little fella. Look at the pictures. He had a pellet spreader that made a gap between his front 2 teeth so wide you could literally fit a quarter through it. George Washington faced up. He might as well have had the words "kick me" written right on his forehead. He was a mere duck in a pond full of piranhas. But luckily for Mark, I am such a kind and compassionate soul. I saw something deeper in this little pudge ball. I saw something much deeper than an orthodontist's mad experiment gone wrong. I knew he had something, and that something was a Nintendo 64. Now, after I made that discovery, we spent nearly every weekend together, either at his grandma's house, who conveniently lived across the street from me, or in his parents' basement. We were glued to the screen only to take breaks to pile food in our mouths. Now, each one of these locations had its very own unique fare. When we feasted at Mark's grandma's house, we had club sandwiches, chicken soup, and what seemed to be like an endless supply of cherry Coke and Cool Ranch Doritos. In the Rosinski basement grill, the menu consisted of bagel dogs, chicken patties, stuffed crust pizza from Little Caesars. We had all the fixings needed to grow 2 healthy Indiana boys. Or as known in them other states, early onset diabetes. And if you go in the deep south, it's known as Sugarfoot. So as we grew, so did our interests. We started playing guitar together. We got to the same bands, mainly Metallica. Yeah. Oddly enough, these shared interests resulted in the first time Mark and my sexuality came into question. Uh-oh. Now, the questioning began when Mark had an extra ticket to a Metallica concert, gave me a ring on the old landline, and asked if I would accompany him. Of course I wanted to go. You know, it was Metallica, so I was pumped, got a check together, and went right over to his house to drop it off. So, once I got there, I handed Mark the check, gave him a big old hug, and told him I loved him. However, this touching moment was overheard by Mark's mother, who felt compelled after them to ask Mark about the nature of our relationship. So, thank you, Mrs. Rosinski, for being accepting if it was me up here rather than Holly today. Which actually does bring me to my next subject, Holly. Holly, you look absolutely beautiful today. And honestly, I wasn't expecting this. She almost brought me to tears when she walked down the aisle. And, you know, let's call a spade a spade. You definitely pulled off that dress better than I could have. Now, Holly's an amazing person. You know, her laugh will make you feel like you're the funniest person on the planet. She's a miracle worker and, you know, a satisfactory renter. And Holly actually received one of the most amazing compliments I've ever heard my dad give anybody. He said, "I have nothing bad to say about Holly." I was shocked, because this guy's brought up some terrible things about me. I'm the most perfect person I know, right? Now, to preface why Holly's a miracle worker, I have to tell you what my girlfriend Jamie, right over here, has brought up about Mark on numerous occasions. She says, when I first met Mark 5 years ago, he was still in college, didn't have a job, and still lived at home. Now, she says this is, wow, look how far your friend's come. Isn't it amazing how far he's come in the past 5 years? But when I hear it, I think, wow, Holly really rolled the dice on this guy. But when I look back, I see that Holly did what none of us could. She motivated Mark to become a functional adult in society. You know, since then, he's graduated college and gotten his CPA. Yeah, that's a tough thing. He got a job and even been promoted on top of that. Way to go, buddy. And he's also moved out of his parents' house. You guys are happy about that one. And bought a house of his own. Now, I would have been rolling on the floor laughing if somebody had told me this was going to happen 5 years ago. But to Holly's credit, she accomplished what I thought was impossible. Now, as a renter, I had to, take her down a notch to satisfactory, because all the minor drywall repairs I had to do after she moved out. Girl loves picture frames. You just can't trust her with a hammer. Now, Mark, all jokes aside, I'm extremely humbled that you asked me to, play this role on such a huge occasion in your guys' life. I really do look at the both of you as family, and I can't wait to see what the future brings for all of us. And Mark, to give you the best compliment I've been taught how to give, I have nothing bad to say about you. Now, before we toast, I'd like to thank everybody who helped make today possible. Thanks to the wedding party to be supportive when you needed to be, and look good when it mattered. I want to thank the Adams family for raising such an amazing daughter and sharing that trademark open mouth smile with the world. And thanks to the Rosinskis for always making me feel like a part of the family and giving me a best friend for life. So please, everybody, raise a glass to Mark and Holly, wishing you health, happiness, and all the great times in the world. Here.